Why should you choose custom windows? That is an excellent question, not for me to decide, for you to decide. So stick around as I get into that in the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you on Monday through Friday, each and every week around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market, had recent price reductions, or something unique about the property that I want to share and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the show. And to find out how you get your question answered on the show, tune in to the end. And of course, finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every week. And if you would like more details on how you can do that, all you got to do is just stick around with me. As you guys are jumping in here, listening to this, whether you are on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, make sure you share this out. Help me out. Leave me a review. Leave me a comment. Leave me a question of the day. I would love that as well. So all you got to do is just drop a comment wherever you're listening. Make sure if you're listening to this on Facebook that you comment #live or #replay so I know how you're watching it. And if you're checking it out on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up for me, help a brother out, and turn on those notifications so I bring new videos and new content. You can come check them out when you get notified. Question of the day is going to be, why should I choose custom windows? Before we get into that, we are going to talk about a property new to the market. The address is 2926 Westlake Drive, right here in Emporia. It's a 5-bed, 3.5 bath house. It's actually a 2-story lake setting house. Yeah, lake setting house. It's got 3,050 square feet of finished space, currently listed for $349,500, courtesy of Coldwell Banker Emporia Real Estate. So this is a lake setting here in the city limits, over northwest part of town. Absolutely beautiful location, close to an elementary school, middle school, high school. There's some other amenities over there, like there's grocery stores, and anything that you're curious about or want close by will definitely be within just a couple minutes of this house. They have updated the flooring, the HVAC system, paint, windows, front door. The lawn is professionally landscaped, and they've got a cool little beach out back of the house that goes down to the lake. So make sure that you check this house out. Also has full basement, has walkout basement to a patio, also has a deck there as well. And then the immediate area around the house is fenced off, and then you have some open area and open yard on the other side. So make sure that you click on the link in the description, take you right to my website so you can see this house for yourself. Not going to want to miss it. While it is available, you will be able to take a look for yourself and see these pictures. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. I would love to either show you the house if you're pre-approved, or answer some questions for you. Before I get to the question of the day, I know I'm keeping you in suspense. I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Big Ben Automotive right here in Emporia. They do a phenomenal job, very, very affordable and reliable. Their number one goal is customer service and satisfaction. And that is why what they've done to help everybody out is, if you don't have time to drop off or pick up your vehicle that needs to be worked on, they will pick it up. Now, that does not include towing. So if you're doing an oil change, maybe an engine swap, they will come pick it up. Again, does not include towing. That's not what this is, but they will pick it up, deliver it back to your house, no additional charge, and you can either pay over the phone or when you have your vehicle delivered. So all you got to do, click on the link in the description. It's going to take you right to Big Ben's Facebook page. From there, They've got their email address, their store hours, as well as their phone number, so you can schedule and get yourself an appointment today. If you would like to be a sponsor of the week, all you got to do is shoot me a message wherever you're listening to this at. We'll jump on the phone, have a quick call, and see if you're a good fit, good matchup to be a sponsor of the week. All right. And now to my favorite part of the show, most everybody's favorite part of the show, the question of the day. I've been doing this for over a year now. Each question that I answer is submitted by a listener of the podcast. So keep those questions coming, because as long as you keep those questions coming, I can keep the answers coming. Some of these I don't know and I don't have an answer to. And so this not only educates you, this is educating me by doing some homework and helping some people out. So why should I choose custom windows? That's a great question, not for me to decide. So what I did with this is I did some homework and decided I'm going to give you some facts and some maybe some opinions on what I know or what I've uncovered while researching this question. Now, custom windows can add a lot of life as well as personality to your home. It's a great option, especially if you are struggling to get natural light through your current windows. I hope my wife isn't paying attention to this video. So, babe, if you're listening to this, you can go ahead and shut it off at this point. I would appreciate that. Installing custom windows is a big decision, especially if you're unsure what style you like or what is available. A large part is going to depend on personal preference, and so there's a few things to consider before you jump into it. So what we're going to talk about, not necessarily why you should choose custom windows. We're going to talk about 5 things that you should consider if you're going to go the custom window route. Make sense? All right, stay with me. Number 1, existing custom windows. One thing that can affect choosing new custom windows is whether you currently have custom windows or standard windows in your home. I'm not talking like the big bay windows or other type of customization. What I'm talking is just many times custom windows look similar to standard windows. The biggest difference is their non-standard size. Tracking? All right. So if you want to upgrade these, you need to get custom windows to replace them. Unless you opt to make changes to your walls to widen it or shrink it to allow standard windows to be used. So that's entirely up to you. Same goes for the more obvious windows like the bay windows. If you want to replace it or update it a little bit, more than likely you're going to need custom windows to do that. As somebody who has a bay window in the house, I know unless we go back with a bay window, we're going to have to do some adjusting to the height and width of that wall to put a standard window in there. Number 2, how much room is available? Like I was just alluding to. So I'm going to assume you're not updating existing custom windows. So what you need to do is see if there's enough room on your wall for the window type that you desire, that you desire and want to slap it in there. So this doesn't just mean you got to check what's in the wall space. You've got to check what's behind the wall, because you could run into conduit, cables, or other structures that are in your walls. You hit those, that could ruin your weekend and just add to the cost of your windows. Because when you do this, it could make it difficult for large custom windows. So you want to make sure not only that you have plenty of wall space, but also find out what's behind those walls. And keep in mind, this is not going to be obvious at first glance. So this is going to be why it's important to speak with a contractor or other custom installer. This way, they kind of have an idea of what's running where, and they can help decide what's possible in that wall and what's not. Number 3, custom panes versus custom windows. So I'm switching gears here on you a little bit because not all updates require to fully replace your windows. Occasionally, you're able to simply replace existing glass. How cool is that, right? Sometimes, whether it's you're going to get away with it with custom panes, which would help because this helps change the look or function of the windows, as well as add unique style to the windows as well. Because you replace older glass with newer, this provides better UV filtering, or make other changes while keeping the same frames and general look of the windows. So if you like the look and the style of the current custom windows that you have right now, and you don't know that you would change those, well, then you have the option of just changing the window panes and not the entire windows. Number 4, one thing you're going to have to consider is your home style. We've talked through some considerations earlier about personal preference. Consider the overall style of your home. Figure out what would look best, whether you want to go with something that's contemporary or something that's going to be, a little more eye appealing and really just jump out at people and catch their attention. Some homes look nice with oversized windows because these can break up what would really otherwise be just a standard single pane window. Kind of boring, kind of plain like me, and so an oversized window could really make it stand out. Now, of course, it's going to be subject to personal preference and style. So keep that in mind. Also, just a quick side note, if you live in a HOA, check with them to see what's allowed when you're doing the updating. That's going to be extremely important. I don't have an HOA. So if you do, before you do anything, I would go talk with them, see what's allowed, what's not, because you don't want to go through, have all your installers out there, and then have the HOA president come piss in your Cheerios because what you're doing is not allowed. So you have to undo everything that you just did. So it's still important to take into consideration what you're going to be doing when you're customizing the windows, because this is going to affect the style of your home and how the windows look once they're installed. So, it's important to talk through a little bit, maybe even get on Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot's site. Sometimes they will let you custom build what your house would look like, and you can try different windows. Or if you're hiring an installer, maybe they have a program as well that they can mock up what the windows would look like on your house. And finally, number 5, the cost of custom windows. Y'all had to know this was going to be on there. So obviously, like anything that's customized, there's going to be a little bit more of a cost with custom windows versus standard windows. Part of the cost difference that you're talking about here is the overall size, the complexity, materials, and labor that's involved in a custom window installation. Now, installing non-standard windows costs less than, remember the big bay window that I talked about? Excuse me. But it's still going to cost more for a customized window than like a off-the-shelf window. Hopefully that makes sense. So the cost is going to be something that you're going to have to take into consideration, and will it affect or have an effect on the changes that you're wanting to do or fit into your budget? Only you're going to be able to decide that. again, not for me to decide. So let me run through these real quick again. You know, when choosing custom windows versus standard windows, you have to consider whether or not you have existing custom windows, or you're going to have to widen some things up to get custom windows in there. Number two, how much room you have available in your wall. So not just width and height, but what's behind those walls. You don't want to, run into some cables or conduit. That, again, going to ruin your weekend. If you like the custom windows that you have, but want to do something with the pane, well, number three on the list is you can do custom panes instead of an entire custom window. If you like how they look, just replace the window panes. Number four to consider is the style of your home. This is going to help figure out how it looks, what it's going to look like once it's completed. Just make sure, again, if you live in an area with the HOA, you talk to them and see what is approved and what you can do before you get the ball rolling instead of after construction's already started. And of course, finally, number five, the cost of custom windows, like anything custom, is going to be a little bit more because custom versus standard. So that is going to do it for me. Let me know in the comments, do you have standard windows? Do you have custom windows? I would be curious to know. Like I said, I have a bay window in one of my rooms, and I know Lisa likes it. Chase really likes it. At one time, that was my daughter's room. She absolutely loved it. I could go either way because I'm usually the one that has to deal with it. So, it, again, goes back to that personal preference. But let me know. I would love to hear from you guys what type of custom windows you have or what type you're considering as well. So thanks for watching with Matt in a Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. So thank you guys for tuning in on this Red Friday. Make sure you have a fantabulous weekend and jump back in here Monday, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. I will see you then.